guys, and welcome back to Above the Average, a podcast hosted by me, and I am Chaitanya Nawate. The response that I got from my first episode, I just received the best feedback, the best response. Thank you for everyone who commented. Thank you for everyone who posted it on their stories and shared it. It really got me more motivated to make better content and bring more value to you from a student for a student. And obviously for the people who are students for their life. So guys, today's topic was actually going to be a little different, but we were hit by probably one of the most heartbreaking, the most grim news of 2020. Sushant Singh Rajput, a celebrity, a successful personality, someone who people used to look up to, someone who people used to dream to be. One day, he committed suicide. Now, the day he did it, the day this news came out, I was actually on my phone and I got this news on, I guess my friend texted me, and before I could do anything, before I could even process what just happened, because I respected Sushant Singh because he was a hustler. I've seen him go from his first serial Pavitra Rishta to Jhalak Dikhla Ja to Kai Poche, MS Dhoni, probably his best performance in my eyes, MS Dhoni, and I used to respect him. So before I could even understand what had just happened, and I could even process the fact that someone so amazing is no more in this world, everyone had posted a story about it. Like, the second I got the message, I was like, oh my God, what? And then I went to Instagram because you fact check the news on social media nowadays. So I went on Instagram and yes, it was everywhere. And at that point, it didn't sink in. I was still thinking that this might be like a rumor or something the media came up with just to have a news. But then I realized it was actually true. I really didn't want to believe it, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is now. And it's like within, I think, 2 to 3 hours, I was seeing memes on stories and people making just normal stories as if nothing had happened and as if their last story was not about someone dying. Which is why I think we need to reevaluate us as social media users. Because we see a post, we see something happening in the world, we don't treat it as news. We treat it as a content, like कुछ दिखा तो मुझे स्टोरी पर डालने मिलेगा, वरना कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, स्टोरी खाली हो जाएगी, कोई स्टोरी नहीं देखेगा, oh my God, मुझे वैलिडेशन नहीं मिलेगा. Now again, I'm not trying to call someone out, or I'm not trying to say that if you did this, you are like the worst person. But I'm just saying that this is what social media has become. This promotes fake concern. This fake personality that we have on Instagram. This fake personality that we portray on media. And how that affects everyone. And how that can actually cause, that can actually be one of the reasons someone can get depressed. Before even understanding the depth of the situation, before even understanding why someone committed suicide, we posted it on our story. Before even thinking कि इतना अच्छा एक्टर अब नहीं रहा, स्टोरी पे डालो. Are you a reporter? No, right? Are you a news channel? No, right? So why? Obviously, I might have done it in some point of my life, but in this episode, I just couldn't feel the reason to put it on my story. The RIPs were everywhere. Half of them didn't even mean it. half of them don't even know the real meaning of it. Rest in peace. Let his soul rest in peace. Let his family understand in peace. Like, they lost their family members. One of their family member, Sushant Singh's dad, got this news from his TV. Imagine you growing up, having a child, putting all your efforts into making that child successful, and then you get a news that your child committed suicide because of depression, because he was unhappy, because he was helpless. Guys, rather than making this a piece of content just to post on our story, understand what it means. Understand what has happened. We are not the media. Don't be like the media. They get paid for making such stories. They earn their living out of this. We promote that negative information as if we are influencing someone or influencing and making news and becoming, I don't know, like famous or something. I don't know what people expect when they do something like this. Even myself, I don't know what I might have expected when I used to. But if I have done it, I don't know what I was thinking. It is something that has cultivated slowly. And I think this year is actually telling us every single mistake that we make, every single insensitive things that we do. 2020 has seen everything. Animal cruelty, global warming. We have seen lockdown be so good for the nature in some ways. The memes that we say that because of lockdown, we can see the Everest on this and that. Yes, we made fun out of it, but I hope you also understand that humans have been really shitty to the planet. And this is a slap back from the planet. We are seeing the emotional side, the depression within ourselves, within our human race, within our people. We are seeing social media being shitty. This is the year of change. Now, talking about depression, I don't think I can talk about Sushant Singh exclusively because a lot of things are unclear at this point, and it probably involves Bollywood and the power that some people have in Bollywood. And right now, I don't have enough information about it, or even I don't know anything about it. So I don't think I can talk about his case, but we can talk about depression, right? As a student, we all get depressed. It is to different extents for everyone. And depression, till some extent, is kind of looked at as something to be embarrassed of. It's not. It's a part of human. It's a part of your emotions. So if anyone is going through depression, if anyone is feeling sad, don't think that you are a misfit, or don't think that you are wrong, or you should not be embarrassed about being depressed. It's just a part of life. And it should only be a part of life. It should not be the end of life. Yes, it is easy for me to say that, and it is very hard for someone actually going through it. But I hope and I pray to God that anyone going through such hard times finds a solution, because this has been said before. This is the truth, that for every biggest of problems, there is always a solution. Humanity as a whole has been through a lot and has always come up with solutions. Just like that, every human personally can go through a lot and still find a solution. For the people who commit suicide, they don't see that solution. They don't see the light at the end of the tunnel because they create darkness inside them. They create it because they feel helpless. And when you feel helpless, you don't see positivity, you see only negativity. And that's when you start creating your own darkness. So this story thing that come talk to me, or the things we are saying, communicate. If a depressed person communicates with someone, that someone can only clear the darkness around you, but he cannot clear the darkness within you. That sounds really harsh, but I need you to understand that the person, may it be a psychiatrist, may it be the medication, it can clear the air around you, but it cannot change what is inside of you. And to change what is inside of you comes from within you. So this is something that someone like me who has been sad for a few years has understood, or rather, this is one solution that helped me to get out of that creation of negativity. So at the end of 12th standard, I was this drained out student because the 11th and 12th standards were the 2 years of sadness for me. And at the end of 12th, I thought that, okay, something's going to change now. And my surroundings are going to change. My environment is going to change. Maybe I'll be happier. And just that maybe gave me a little bit of confidence, or rather hope, to keep going. I came to the engineering college. The first year was still not the best for me. But I survived. Because it was new to me, I survived. And at the end of the first year, I found this workshop. So one of my friends recommended this workshop, which was acting workshop. Now, as I said, at the end of 12th standard, I was this drained kid. I was really, really shy. I had no confidence in myself. I had self-pity, self-doubt, a lot of it. And being shy at the moment, being nervous all the time, I was scared to the bone to talk to unknown people. And I knew that was something I needed to change. So I saw this opportunity, I saw this workshop as a way to fight that. Acting was uncomfortable for me, or rather, communication was uncomfortable for me. Talking was uncomfortable for me. Being in front of people and the feeling of getting judged was uncomfortable for me. And when you're acting, you are getting judged every single move you make, because it is an art, and when someone's watching the art, they're watching it with an intent of getting entertained or judging it, So when I stepped into theater, I knew I was into uncomfortable territory, but that is what helped me. I didn't know this at that time, but it helped me. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable helped me. Fighting my personal problems helped me. This is what I call personal achievement. It was a 4-month workshop, which I did twice, 2 levels of it. And at the end of the 8th month, I was confident in just myself that I survived those 8 months without doing something too embarrassing, without making fun out of myself. And even when I did make fun out of myself, I still survived that. In the workshop, they made us do dumb shit. So this is one exercise that they made us do. They made us keep all of our bags in between. All the students stand around the circle, the bag in a circle, and we had to imitate tribals and Adivasis. So we had to dance and say Jingalala Hoo Hoo. Imagine for a shy person, someone who was scared of being judged, imagine what that was. So this is an example that worked for me. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable is the thing you need to do. It is going to be different for everyone. And I really hope that this solution can be a part of your finding strength and happiness. Because when you are depressed or sad, you feel weak. You are not weak. You have it in you. You have the strength in you, but you start feeling weak. When you got into depression, you didn't know you had that weakness in you. Just like that, when you're getting out of depression, you will not know if you have the strength in you, but you do. Every single human does. I hope it works for everyone, because this is actually a way of finding strength within you. You don't need to find someone else for this. Like your thing, your uncomfortable thing can actually be communicating or dancing or singing or bungee jumping or anything, any activity can be the uncomfortable thing for you, which you want to get comfortable because it will give you strength. And I hope we have this change of perspective within us, that we need to stop taking social media as some platform that we have to be fake on, because you have followers and likes and shares. Let's use our social media, use our followers to spread positivity. There is a lot of negativity that is being spread by the media. I don't blame them completely, because they get paid out of it, and obviously they would want to make it more efficient. And it is sad, but it is true that the negative news gets spread way better and way more than the positive news, which is why they do it. I'm not taking their side in any way, but before lashing out to anyone, we need to think of everything. And that is a sad fact, but I think we can change it, because if we, as the consumers of the news, change the dynamic of consumption of the news, so if we consume less negative news and more positive news. So what do I mean by that? Because as I said, as soon as something negative happens, it's on everybody's story. But when something positive happens, it's almost nowhere. We don't see it on anyone's story. No friend does it. No even celebrity does it. No one does it. Very small amount of people do it. And you know, a lot of that small amount of people are actually the media people. That's the thing. They do put positive things, but that is just a minuscule amount. That is the problem. We need to change. We need to flip the table now. We need to flip the directions. We need to go towards positive news rather than negative news. And that doesn't mean that we should not be aware of the negative news, but like putting it on your stories every time you see something negative. Why? As I said, it is not our jobs to spread news. We are not getting anything out of it. So why? Rather spread positive and strong news, like this video about from Kangana Ranaut being bold and being against the nepotism and the bias of the media. Spread that more than anything, rather. This story that you put, RIP, what value does that add? What difference does it make? It literally does nothing. No one even feels कि अच्छा ये बंदे ने डाला मतलब ये बहुत अच्छा बंदा है. कोई सोचता भी नहीं है ऐसा. वो RIP डाल के, you are not gaining sympathy, you are not gaining followers, you are not gaining anything. Rather, you are promoting a news that has depressed the whole nation. We all are in shock. I mean, yes, it is your views, it is your Instagram account, and yes, we should have the rights, and we do have the rights to say anything and talk about anything, but ask yourself, what do you want to promote? The negative news or the positive news? The happy news or the sad news? And obviously, we should be aware of the bad news or rather the mistakes that we do. So share about our mistakes. The RIP story is actually, sorry to say, but overrated. And I hope you don't take it in the wrong way. I hope my thoughts are not hurting you. You need to ask yourself, what do I want to spread? If you think you are an influencer, what do you want to influence? Positivity or negativity? Me, from above the average, I want to promote positivity, which is why I didn't want to post something about Sushant Singh Rajput and that RIP story, because yes, it is showing that I have sympathy and I cared about him or something like that, but it is just adding to the pool of negative stories out there. The media does it enough. The media spreads enough of the negative news for you to add to it. Don't add to the negative news, the negative stories, the negative posts. Add to the positive pool, which is already smaller in size right now, and rather the most important pool we want to have. So guys, before I end today's episode, I just wanted to say this lockdown, this year 2020 has been really hard on all of us. Humanity has been through a lot, and we will be getting out of this pandemic, this horrible time, and we will be happy again. We will get back to normal again. But that normal will be a better normal than what we were last year. That normal is going to be a more happy, a more responsible, and a more caring normal. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it till here, please like the video. For the next few podcasts, they are all going to be on my Instagram, but after a point, they are going to be exclusively on Spotify and Google Podcasts. And there is also an Anchor website always in my bio. You can stream my podcasts from there. Thank you so much for listening today. Be happy, be positive, be you, spread happiness, spread positivity. See you in the next one. Bye bye.